Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to School of Vedic Astrology. I'm Joachim, your host, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I want to give a presentation for the Nakshatras Remastered series about Uttara Bhadrapada. So as you can see on this first page, it is quite a spiritually inclined nakshatra, and it's very interesting because we got a big deity, snake of the deep waters here as the ruling deity. So quite interesting. But first of all, okay, the Sanskrit root word Uttara means latter, Bhadra, blessed, happy, fortunate, and Pada, foot, so the latter, happy, blessed, foot. So another name is, of course, the deity Ahirbudhnya, and we got Uttara Bhadrapada, which is another ancient name too, which is quite interesting. And so the meaning is the second of the blessed feet, the beautiful left foot, or a ray of light. So in astronomy, there's two stars representing, because we have Purva Bhadrapada, which is a pair nakshatra with it in the same zodiac area of north of Pisces. And this is Gamma Pegasi Algenip, or in other words, is Algenip and Alpha Andromeda, because the constellation above Pisces, we got Andromeda. And another word is Alperat's one in the constellation of Pegasus also. So it's quite a few constellations there in Pisces. And Algenip on the tip of the wing of Pegasus gives good oratory abilities, intelligence with a responsible nature. So these people are calm, they are responsible. This celestial region forms the apex of Saturnian energy, and the ancients saw these two stars forming the back legs of a funeral cot. So it's quite in touch with its own eternal nature. So over here we see these two stars. One star here is in the Andromeda constellation, and then over here we got Purva Bhadrapada and the Pegasus constellation. And this is all quite in the bigger picture of Pisces, and we got Jupiter transiting there at the moment. Okay, so the zodiac range is from 3 degrees 20 to 16 degrees in Pisces. So it's fully situated in Pisces. The nakshatra padas is Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Navamsha. The planetary ruler in the Vimshatari Dasha system is Saturn. Motivation is Kama. So there is a little shadow side there. If you put this nakshatra, for example, in the in the 11th house, this karma could intensify towards a darker occult spirit. So the dosha is Pitta, so it's quite active. Gana is Manusha. It's very fixed. These people are very fixed. It's also Kshatriya. And the guna is Tamas. So the Shakti is the power to bring rain and to grow plants and bring stability. So over here, a prototype of this nakshatra would be a tribal a leader, for sure. This, because they are leaders, they are kshatriyas, they're quite fixed. They mostly in ancient culture, they were responsible for bringing stability in the tribe, and also bringing the rains. So, and the body parts is the sides of the body, the ribs, sides of the legs, the shines, and the soles of the feet. This is also quite interesting. And then Uttara Bhadrapada, they can be deep thinkers. So it's quite philosophical, because we have this deep sea snake creature, and it is referred to the kundalini awakening of the first chakra. And they may have a tendency to be agonized about the functioning of the world and take it in their stride. So they have their own vision of society. They can be quite utopian with their vision on how it should be. So here the native They have controlled emotions, but internally there's this whole process going on. And they have controlled stable life patterns, since the deity is the deep water serpent, Ahirbudhnya. These traits make them renunciates, who are more happy being in a meditative and serene state, like hermits and sannyasis. So, yeah, a lot of yogis, sadhus have this prominent as ascendant or moon sign. Uttara Bhadrapada signifies the deep sleep state, in which the dream state is at its minimum, and we go to the depths of our unconsciousness. This nakshatra is also associated with the kundalini serpent energy, the prime of life force that lies at the base of the spine in humans. Anuradha nakshatra is the initiator of the awakening of kundalini energy, and Uttara Bhadrapada is the culmination point of this process. The primary deity Ahirbudhnya is considered to the associated with maintaining the fertility on the earth. So through this inner experiences, it is also the moonlight who gives the life force to the vegetables and the fruits to grow. So once this kundalini, or this inner life force, or this chi, whatever you want to call it, is actually awakened, it brings stability and fertility in your communities. It is considered to be lying in the depth of Mother Earth and giving structure and fertility. Hence, this nakshatra is also associated with agriculture and dissolution of the earth, pralaya. And actually, I think a few natives with this nakshatra prominent, and you see them doing all kinds of community work, like building gardens, or making gardens on top of buildings, and making the city green again. This is a typical archetype of Uttara Bhadrapada native. This nakshatra has strong secretive and reclusive tendencies, which make them prematurely retire from their worldly duties. So that is sometimes the case. And I have seen if other malefics, like if they are associated with Punarvasu, and they seems to wanting to change their community for the better, but if falling down, have to rise again, the projects are not really lifting off. They seem to retire very early from worldly duties, and suddenly you will receive message that they are in Nepal or something, doing all kinds of Buddhistic work. The natives may have neglected childhood and normally subject to a life away from their town of birth, in search of these higher truths. The natives of this nakshatra are interested in fine arts and have the ability to write prolonged articles or books, so they make very good writers, especially if there is an association with the third or ninth house, or even the fifth house. Natives with their focal planets in this nakshatra can be selfless. They're very generous because they really want to serve the society and help others. Have a liking for the oceans or deep sea explorations, have good children, and live a righteous, dharmic life. Yeah, that is so true. So in the good side, this nakshatra, even though it's a pair nakshatra with Purva Bhadrapada, is so much different in its own way, because there's really this inner calmness, inner search, spirituality, and the karma, the desires, is directed towards helping others and helping society. This nakshatra blesses natives with inspiration and imagination on one side, but it may also cause sadness and depression, especially when their projects don't lift off. However, Uttara Bhadrapada is quite strong on the surface, not to display their discomfort, and inner grief in public. They have the ability to go through toughest periods of their lives with patience and calmness. And Purva Bhadrapadas, they don't. They also enter into this Ashlesha kind of isolation to, but thinking of what they're gonna do next, and it's quite aggressive. It's quite passionate. But over here, Kama and Pitta are more balanced in this nakshatra. The ultimate destination is to find a foundation which transcends the emotional ups and downs of life. And that's why you see them then also suddenly going abroad to ashrams or to natural reserves, parks, to help and assist a good and green life. That foundation is the ocean of pure universal consciousness, which is realized when the kundalini is finally awakened. It is a dhruva, fixed nakshatra, mixed with kshatriya. They are quite determined to achieve set goals, and it is compared to a wise old man or the elder tribal leader who never acts hastily and plans his actions after giving due consideration to his experiences from the past. In some circumstances, it is seen this nakshatra delays actions for too long for its own good. So yeah, they have to learn, these natives have to learn how to work with delays. It is a trait due to the Saturnian influence, and just like the tamasic qualities of Saturn, in some cases they may be lazy in both physical and mental matters. So they intend to then start smoking weed, excess weed smoking, becoming lazy, and then it's difficult to attract others, or only other people who then also smoke weed a lot. Or they start growing weed and selling weed, and then they kind of deviate on the little shadow side here of this nakshatra. Uttara Bhadrapada natives can make very good counselors. The cooling water of this nakshatra has the ability to extinguish the fire and the fiery emotions like anger, revenge, and jealousy. So, in Purva Bhadrapada, that's really there. These people come to take revenge after their isolation period. The calculative and mental stability of this nakshatra gives the ability to be connected with occult sciences such as astrology, numerology, yoga, meditation, divination, etc. So yeah, these people are quite connected to the higher nature of this world. And natives born under the strong influence of this nakshatra usually benefit from gifts, donations, and also inheritances, because it's still the funeral card. And especially if you have this placement in the 8th house, or in the 2nd house, or even the 11th house. So the career interests is the yoga, meditation experts, counselors, therapists, shamans, healers, practitioners. Yeah, you see Reiki healers, Tantra healers, Feng Shui teachers, chakra healers, other occult sciences, divinators, renunciates, monks, hermits, lots of sannyasis have this nakshatra prominent. Charity organization, researchers, philosophers, poets and writers, musicians, artists, shop clerks, night watchmen, doormen, historians, librarians, etc. So it's quite obvious this nakshatra. I think it's one of the easiest nakshatras at the moment that I've been diving into it. So this energy is quite clear, and if it's afflicted or it's very positive, it's quite clear how this gonna turn out. So if you have moon or ascendant in this nakshatra, you are known to have a calm nature, low temper, and steady personality, but can be stubborn at times. You have good morals and are conscious of your duties. However, at times you can be lazy and only work hard if you really have to. You like nice things in life and things that give pleasure, including socializing, food, and that includes growing food, and also types of luxuries, especially when it goes to tantric healing and yoga. You do it in all these nice, serene places. You have good relationships with others, particularly with your siblings, and have a generous nature. You're fond of music and the arts, with a tendency to be more passive and receptive. It is important to have strong boundaries in your life. So when moons transits this nakshatra, you can chant the Gayatri mantra or the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada Vedic mantra. And there is also a Ganesh form, Durga Ganapati, the 31st of Lord Ganesh, 32 forms. And Lord Ganesh here is the invincible, having a victory flag, embracing his might over darkness. Durga Ganapati appears in deep golden hue complexion. Wow. With 8 hands. In his main right hand holds broken tusk, and his main left hand holds the rose apple fruit. On his other hands holds a bow, an arrow, and sugarcane, a noose, an elephant goat, japa beads, mala, and a victory flag. Wow. This is really the culmination of energy here. And rose. Yeah, rose, apple fruit, victory flag, japa beads. This is a really beautiful form of Ganesh. It's quite victorious. And these people, these are the kinds of leaders that you want in your community. And also in the Rig Veda, there's these references to Uttara Bhadrapada and Purva Bhadrapada. So we desire gods to repeat the praise of you who are propitiated by praise. May Ahirbudhnya Ajaekapa Trita Ribuksin Savita bestow upon us food. And may the swift-moving grandson of the waters, Agni, be gratified by our praises and our worship. So it has, the Shakti is the power to bring the rain, and from the rain the vegetables grow. So you see, really, these people love gardening or making community projects, which relates to food or growing food on houses, or changing your central park into a fruit garden for all of the people. And another verse in the Rig Veda, may Ahirbudhnya Aja Ekapad, and earth and ocean hear us. May the universal gods, who are exalted by sacrifice, they who are invoked and praised by us, to whom mystical prayers are addressed, and who have been glorified by ancient sages, preserve us. So yeah, may they preserve stability in our community as these necessary leaders that we so need, and not this toxic leadership like in Russian politics at the moment. And to finish off, there is also the Ahirbudhnya Samhita. And the Ahirbudhnya Samhita belongs to the Pancharatra religion. It's actually Vaishnav Tantrika composition. So you can do maybe your own research, because you can give a whole talk just on this Samhita by itself. But this is for the people who want to dive a little bit deeper into this nakshatra. It is one of my favorite nakshatras, and it brings to us auspiciousness, good leadership, and growth, and good nutrition, because we are attacked by all the 10 directions at the moment, through the waters, through the air, through the food that we eat. So we need healers. It's too much. Recently I moved to Belgium again, and I'm living in the north in one of the nice cities, they say. But when I look at the city water inside the city, and people are floating on boats as touristic activities here, but this was always one of my observations as a child when I was looking at the rivers. I knew something is not right. And that's why Uttara Bhadrapada, we need the energy of Uttara Bhadrapada to come to the right conclusion and to lead people on the right path. Okay, so tomorrow I will upload the video on the full moon. So I was asked to give video presentations so I don't appear in a little circle, but the Nakshatra series remastered is with a presentation, but I guess all the other videos I will just speak to the camera and serve you in this way. That's what the YouTube partner program is advising. You have to listen to the advice of your community members. So that's what I'm planning to do. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.